The character Link is the primary protagonist of the Legend of Zelda series and is one of the most iconic video game characters of all time. He was created by the Japanese game designer Shigeru Miyamoto, who also created such iconic characters as Super Mario and Donkey Kong. But what are Link's origins? How did he come to be? To figure that out, I dug up some old interviews on the subject and found a good one that said thus: Link's sprite was designed by Takashi Tezuka. Like Mario, they wanted a character that would be recognizable from his sword and shield, so they thought of a long hat and long ears and went into the direction of an elf. At the time, when you said long ears, you thought of Peter Pan, and as he's a Disney fan, they drew inspiration from it. Link's name comes from the fact that, originally, the fragments of the Triforce were supposed to be electronic chips. The game was to be set in both the past and the future, and as the main character would travel between both and be the link between them, they called him Link. From this interview, we can gather that originally, Link was going to be a literal link between the past and the future in the first game. The Triforce was originally going to be a set of computer or electronic chips. This was, of course, scrapped in the first game. Miyamoto wanted to give Link a look that would be recognizable, and he found inspiration from Disney's incarnation of Peter Pan, as Miyamoto was a Disney fan. Miyamoto has said that he wanted Link to be someone that the player could identify with, which is why he doesn't speak, and in most games, you can name Link whatever you want, to sort of instill your own personality onto him. As it is now, Link is the literal link between the player and the game, at least according to Shigeru Miyamoto and Eiji Aonuma. Now, interestingly enough, there was another interview conducted in February of 2007, shortly before the release of Breath of the Wild, where Miyamoto revealed, jokingly of course, that Link's last name is simply Link. That makes Link's full name as Link Link. Sounds kinda like Mario Mario. I guess if Link gets married, it would be Link and Zelda Link? Hard to tell on that one. But what I find most interesting about this are a lot of the scrapped ideas from the first game. Of course, a couple of them did come back and were reused in later games, and some of them have even been used multiple times, such as the idea of Link traveling between the past and the future in the first game. Now, of course, we have had many Zelda games starting with A Link to the Past, where Link literally has traveled between two worlds, and in Ocarina of Time, where Link has traveled from the present to the future. So this is a mechanic that has definitely seen use in Zelda games. Now, the other mechanic that is most interesting is the idea of the first Zelda game having a much more futuristic, high-tech vibe to it. Had that been the case, the Legend of Zelda series as we know it could be very, very different from how it ended up as. But likely due to hardware limitations, that idea was scrapped. That said, we have seen more high-tech, techish Zelda themes in more recent games, notably Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. So, basically, this sums up the origin of the character of Link. It's a pretty good summation of how the character came to be and how he has evolved over the years, but I was most interested in looking into the origins of the character. I want to ask, what do you think of this? Is there anything I missed? Are there any more interviews that shed light onto the origins of Link? You can definitely find a lot of information on the Zelda wiki site. I found a lot of the information from places such as My Nintendo News and Nintendo Everything, which I will put links in the description below. I want to make more videos like this. I want to try to make them short and sweet, but fun and informative at the same time. I hope you all enjoyed my video, and I will see you legendary heroes on the other side of the Dark World.